Hello, everybody. Welcome back again to another great fireside chat here. Today, we got Diego from OVR. And, we've been talking a lot about NFTs. I think it's time to jump into more talks about metaverses here, too. But I want to say welcome to the stage, Diego.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having.
Awesome. Yeah, likewise. Yeah, if you want to do like a quick intro about yourself, your background, and also for those that are brand new about OVR, definitely love to hear about OVR and what you guys do.
Yes, of course. So I'm Diego Di Tommaso. I'm the co-founder and CEO of OVR. Basically, I come a little bit from a different industry. So in my past life, I was an entrepreneur in fashion business. Then I went to consultancy, and then 2018, basically, we started this company, this business, and basically was launched in 2020, in December 2020. For those who doesn't know what OVR is, basically, OVR is an augmented reality metaverse platform. So basically, we are using two technologies. So one is a geolocalized augmented reality, and the second, of course, is a Web3 technology for ownership of the whole platform. So again, talking about how we build this platform, this is built on three main layers. So we have a base layer that is an ownership layer. So we break down the world in hexagons of 300 square meters. And those are spatial domains. So just like in the web, you have web domains and you decide the content on the website. In OVR, basically, you have geographic coordinates. So let's say you buy the Colosseum, for example, the geographic coordinates of the Colosseum. You can publish augmented reality experiences that are connected to those locations, and you can visualize it with mobile phones right now, as smart glasses, as soon as a model affordable hit the market. So we sold 800,000 of these virtual plots of lands to almost 28,000 users. That is a very big number because if you think of other platform, like for example the biggest, for example, like Sandbox, they have 20,000 owners. So of course the price of our lands are cheaper than those, so it's easier to get big numbers. But for us, it's very important because this is a community that really believes in the project, people that buy the land. Because of course you have secondary market, but it's not just like having a token. Having an NFT representing a land is really having skin in the game, let's say. So the second layer that we have is a mapping layer. Maybe I can talk also about this later, but basically when you do augmented reality that is geolocalized, right now you use GPS. Everybody uses GPS, but GPS has some limitations because outdoor is between 2 to 6 meters precision, but indoor, really, this doesn't work. So we built a system that from normal phones, $200 phones, so just with a camera, you can take pictures of a location and you create a map of this location. With this map, we do two things. First, we do a 3D reconstruction of the location so you can know where things are. And secondly, even more importantly, we allow to your phone to understand where you are. So basically, we go down from 2 to 6 meters to 20 meters, maybe indoor, to 20 centimeters indoor. So basically, you are able to really locate assets where you want. For example, you can place an avatar in front of a door. You can create a path inside a mall. I mean, you can reconstruct a building like it was before or like it will be in the future. So all the things that you imagine about augmented reality that you have not seen yet, you're not seeing yet because of the precision problem, and we are solving this. The third layer basically is a builder layer, a publisher layer. So we have two kinds of builders. One is a web builder. So you don't need to be a coder. You just drop NFTs or 3D files to this builder, to this web builder, and you can publish those in space in your spatial domains. And then we have a more expressive tool that is a Unity plugin where you can actually code logics and even build games on this layer. Finally, basically, when you are in OVR Metaverse, you are not a passive spectator, but you are there with your own avatar. So from a selfie, we recreate a 3D mesh of your face, and you can interact also with other avatars. Also, we support live events. So we can actually have more than 500,000 people together attending to an event. And so we break down in rooms of 50 people because otherwise it's a mess. And also, if you have a performer like a DJ, a dancer, or anyway, the performer, we can let him wear a motion tracking suit. So you will not only see the face, but also all the body movement. So it's a very, very compelling experience. Again, this is at a very high level. I mean, what we are doing.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are approaching in kind of like it from a full stack perspective, from anything from the high level overview of the different, I guess the, would you call it the geofence land, or the land placements like the Coliseum and others? Would that be like the OVR land? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, correct. So
Okay.
the main difference, for example, with other lands that people are familiar with, like for example, Sandbox or the Dcentral, is that those are totally virtual lands, while in our case, this is a map that is one-to-one to the physical world.
Mm.
So it's hexagons projected in the physical space, and actually potentially there is 1.6 trillions of those, because if you take the surface of the Earth and you divide it by hexagons, I mean, it's huge. But of course, we try to understand also how many locations could be interesting. And if you go on Google Maps or OpenStreetMap and you see how many places are categorized like points of interest, is around 100 million. So right now, basically 1% of those interesting locations have been sold. And yeah, it's yes, it's. I mean, you could just go in the map and check it out, and you can see all the locations where people basically bought locations. And also it's very interesting because that map, if you think about that, is a wisdom of the crowds on what are the interesting places in the world. So if you think of a location, a famous location for sure will be bought. But also if you try to think of a location that is nearby you, that maybe is in your area, also probably over there somebody will have bought something. So it's a very interesting tool to see also what are the good locations in the world.
Yeah, I think everybody would want to own the Metaverse Times Square, the OVR Times Square as well, for all the billboards and everything too. So, digital real estate combined with real life real estate as well seems like it's a good layer and good crossover as well too.
And also we took a kind of different approach from many other projects, because basically the cost of these lands is very low. So the base price is $10. Then, of course, if somebody wants it the same, many people want the same, there is a bidding war and the price actually can go up. The more expensive was sold for $6,000. But in general, it's very accessible. So for people, I mean, if you want to buy a piece of land, at your hometown and you want to test it, I mean, you don't have to spend, I don't know, $100 or $1,000. You just take it for $10. You basically register under your name and you can publish over there.
And when we're looking at like kind of metaverses as well too, I guess we're seeing like kind of this kind of place where everybody's trying to create all the different metaverses as well. I guess from your guys' perspective with OVR, are you guys I mean, you guys are creating different layers, it seems, from the metaverse side too, but are you guys looking to like interact with other metaverses, or the ideas, what's your thoughts on like kind of the idea of like cross metaverses as well, from taking one assets over to another world and whatnot as well?
Yeah, I mean, for us, this is something very key in metaverses in general, because actually, if you think about that, we are basically, we that are in the Web3 space, we are fighting a war against, the incumbents that are the Web2 world. So the problem over there is that they have a lot of content and a lot of users. So our secret weapon, the secret weapon of Web3 projects, is actually that the assets we create are basically cross metaverse, because are based on the NFT standard, and this is open. So you can actually, this is not closed inside a single metaverse. So with this way, we can move from basically a competition mindset to a cooperation mindset, to an abundance mindset. So we are striving, a lot to actually being able to onboard all of the assets also from other metaverses. So already today, if you have an NFT from any project, 2D, 3D file, or video, you can actually already port it in OVR, publish it in OVR. But we are going beyond this. If you have, like, for example, now a 3D asset that is rigged, like, for example, a sandbox asset, you have a character of sandbox, you can actually also control it on OVR. So you have a joystick and you can play with it. And so this is also just the beginning, because the idea is that if you can code something in Unity, and Unity is one of the most widespread languages over there for 3D, actually you can create something that can work on OVR and can be enabled by NFTs. So this makes the NFTs even more powerful because they are not confined inside one metaverse, but they can have different uses in different metaverses, and they can use it anywhere you want. So I think that this is really our secret weapon, and everybody, all of the metaverse projects should really work towards this goal, making the assets they build as interoperable as is possible, and also onboarding as many NFTs as they can, because this is the way we will win.
Yeah, and when you guys looking at like doing some the internal or like interior like mapping and everything as well too, I guess from your perspective is you're going to also try to create spaces inside the buildings, or let's say like you're inside uh, a museum or any other building as well too. I guess what's is that going to also be the same thing where you're going to have placements or different metaverse and NFTs inside those interior locations as well too, outside of on top
Yes,
of
of
the
course.
exterior?
You can bring, I mean, NFTs as assets on OVR platform very easily. I mean, you have it in a wallet, you can publish it, or you can just showcase it. Uh, our platform, I mean, is more really like a base layer. So what we want to provide, at least our vision, is like a reference systems to connect these assets to space. Because basically, so we also, and I mean, also enable building content. We are also creating some events to have creators building more content. But our real vision, I mean, if we want to think about the core of our platform, is creating this base layer to connect assets to space. So also this mapping that I was mentioning, basically with mapping, you can have precise localization. But in the next future, with the raw data that we generate, that basically is just pictures of a location, we can also recreate in 3D the location. This is made through AI. There is a lot of progress in the last months and years in this realm. So from pictures, also we will be able to regenerate the 3D, the detailed 3D reconstruction of the location. So really, we believe that our strength and what we are working towards is really creating this infrastructure both to locate assets in space and also to recreate spaces.
And I saw also too with like the OVR lab that you guys have as well. You said that you guys are able to have, I guess like your OVR avatars as well too. Is that kind of like would you like take yourself and put yourself into like a digital version of yourself into like a
Exactly.
game and sandbox and everything?
Yeah, so basically, yes, from a selfie or a picture of yourself, we recreate a 3D mesh of your face. We give you a body. You can change clothes and so on. So, soon we will also be able to actually have NFTs that you can wear. But basically, with these avatars, you can actually interact inside this metaverse with other avatars. Basically, OVR Lab is where we built the value propositions on three main layers that I was mentioning. So, for example, another use case that we built that is very successful is the treasure hunt. So, we actually, our users went to 1.6 million locations to collect our tokens and also NFTs from other projects. So one of the first actually collaborations that we did with the NFT project was with Dodge Pound that actually met at Dcentral in Miami.
Oh, yep,
And
yep.
basically their users and their and our users in 15 days, they went to 70,000 locations physically. They went there to actually collect these 3D assets. And the biggest collector actually got an NFT from Dodge Pound. So every week we are doing new collaboration with NFT projects, gamifying their assets. So it's a win-win situation again, because they gamify their assets, we onboard their community, and they onboard our community. So it's like a snowball effect that is beneficial for all. So basically, building a platform, building an infrastructure is good, but it's also very important to build use cases on that so that you can showcase what you can build on this platform. So that is what OVR is made for, to actually showcase use cases that people can actually leverage and use.
Great. And I guess looking forward for the future of like metaverses or even for the OVR platform as well, kind of like what's next? Now you guys got the land, you guys are setting up the geo geoscanning as well too, and geomapping, I should say, inside there, and then you're adding all these other layers from events and everything else too. Would you say like the next step is, I guess since you guys are like mapping interiors as well, are we going to see kind of metaverse interior design, metaverse furniture, metaverse fashion, metaverse pets as well too? I guess yeah, we'll kind of see more of those like subcategories or new categories of things that haven't yet been discovered.
Yeah, so basically the idea is enabling, showcasing and interacting with 3D assets that are represented by NFTs. So basically having the opportunity to connect those to space precisely opens up a lot of opportunities on actually leveraging those assets. So for example, you was telling interior design. You have a sofa, you want to showcase a sofa. You want to have the sofa in a precise location, in a shop, for example, or in a mall. So with this system, you can do that. Without this system, you cannot do that. So really, we see this mapping, this precision localization as the big enabler for use cases that are not there yet. So the assets are there. 3D assets can be created quite easily. But then how you showcase those? So the idea is really to enable people, creators, brands, individuals to actually use and leverage this technology. So yes, the use cases that we're going to see in the future are of course huge. Absolutely.
And I guess for the different metaverses and different platforms that you guys are kind of moving into, you guys are, I think you just saw that you guys just kind of expanded into Polygon as well too. Was that like a full conversion from ETH over to Polygon?
Yeah, so basically, as I was mentioning, our business model is based on the fact that everything needs to be economically accessible. So basically, the NFTs, the base price of this land is $10. So minting an NFT on Ethereum could be very expensive. Now it's quite cheaper, but it was like $100 mint an NFT in bad days. So basically, what we did is moving all the ownership layer of these NFTs on Polygon. And so basically, we minted 750,000 NFTs on Polygon 3 weeks ago. We was the first gas burner of Polygon. But the amazing thing is that right now that ownership layer is on Polygon, selling an NFT, moving an NFT, editing an NFT, connecting, for example, assets to an NFT is basically costless. Because any transaction on Ethereum on that layer is very expensive, on Polygon is super cheap. Yet our token is now on 3 blockchains. So we have a fungible token that is called OVR, that is both on Ethereum, Polygon, and Binance chain. And we think this is good because basically liquidity now is in Ethereum and Binance chain. Polygon is growing, but it's not so strong yet. So it's very good to have the fungible token that is cross-platform. So it's cross-blockchain because it maximizes the liquidity of the token. But it's also very good to have the NFT in a layer where the transactions are very cheap. So this is the actual configuration. We are very happy about that. And we think we will keep it like that also in the foreseeable future.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and I wasn't thinking about that, but that's actually cool that you guys are having at least the main user experience go through Polygon, and then when it comes to the OVR asset itself, people can choose whichever protocol, whether they want to transact in.
Also most of the value, most of our tokens right now, of course, are on Ethereum, and second, of course, on Binance chain and Polygon, they're slowly moving there, but of course, the core. It's still on Ethereum, and it's quite normal because of course the token was born on Ethereum, and also of course Ethereum is the layer with more liquidity, where there is Uniswap with U3 with a lot of liquidity. There is PancakeSwap on Binance chain with a lot of liquidity also, and a lot of trades. So I think that it depends on the kind of, let's say, participant to the ecosystem. If you are more like a builder, somebody that wants to build on the land and buy the land or participate, maybe it's easier to be on Polygon. But if you're maybe just want to buy the token and trade it and so on, probably it's better or easier to stay on Ethereum or Binance chain. It really depends on what are your goal in interacting with the platform.
And yeah, with that note, I guess we're kind of running on the tail end of our fireside chat here. But yeah, in terms of like closing thoughts and everything too, I guess yeah, what are you I guess the most excited for the future, whether it be metaverses, gaming, NFTs, or the industry as Web3 as a whole?
Well, I'm super excited about, of course, the gaming part of metaverses and NFT, because it's the way I think we onboard people. You know, we all know about the success of play to earn. Now it looks like a long time ago, but it was like 6 to 8 months when it exploded, and then we saw the potential of that. So also this mapping thing that will be, we call it map to earn, because basically it will be an activity where you can actually earn something doing taking pictures. So all these things that they can give also value back to users, I think it will be the big unlocker of bringing people in the Web3 world. So what I'm really super excited about is not just, I mean, the entertainment part, but also the fact that you can build something that could be also economically make some sense for the user. So enjoying, playing, and also earning. I think the combination of these three things will be what will be the success of Web3 platforms.
Yeah, which is kind of the whole Web3 process is kind of having that shared economy, shared ecosystems and experiences through tokens, NFTs, and community as well too. So, well, yeah, it's great catching up with you again, Diego, with OVR, and hope to see you guys at another NFTCon and Decentral event as well too. We'll definitely have to do another catch up as you guys further progress, and be on the lookout for OVR as well too when it comes to the metaverse.
Okay. It's a big pleasure. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon.
All right, thank you.